What's up, everyone? This is gonna be my review of Punisher One Last Kill, the Punisher Disney Plus special. This video will contain spoilers, and if you enjoy this content, please do me a huge favor and subscribe, like, and share this video. It really helps me out, and I would really appreciate it. Also, I want to tell you guys two things. This comes from a guy that is a big comic book nerd. I am a massive comic book nerd. The Punisher is one of my favorite characters, and yeah. So this comes from a guy that is a big comic book nerd that loves the Punisher in the comic books, that loves John Bernthald's take on the Punisher, and this also comes from a guy, me, that wants to be an actor one day, that is an actor already, because I love to play characters. Um, I love to, I love to play characters. I love to get immersed into characters, and that wants to be an actor professionally one day. That's one of my goals. So one of the ways that I do that is by studying actors that I look up to, and John Bernthal is one of my favorite actors. I look up to him a lot because of how seriously he takes his craft and stuff like that. So I wanted to just give you a few of those disclaimers. This comes from a comic book nerd, and this comes from a guy that loves to act, that loves to sing, that loves to rap, that loves to songwrite, that loves to produce music, that loves to write stories and then play characters in those stories and stuff like that. So yeah, but overall, this is one of the best things Marvel has ever done. Has ever done. So this is 50 minutes of perfection in my mind. Especially if you're a fan of The Punisher. So what I like about this is, yes, we get Frank killing people, and we get a lot of Frank killing people. This is probably not problem. This is the most violent thing that Marvel's ever done. Marvel Studios, this is the most violent thing that they've ever done, in my opinion. Right? And I've been watching the MCU since the very, very, very beginning. So this is the most violent thing they've ever done. But this also dives into, like, Frank Castle is a man who is still grieving, who's still dealing with PTSD, and who still has a lot of shit he has to work out. Right? This is a man who is damaged because he lost his whole family. He he could never turn off being a soldier even when he got home, and when he lost his whole family, and he's still struggling with that loss and stuff like that. Um so like we get to see a side of Frank that we don't usually get to see. The TV show, the Punisher TV show, really dived into that side of Frank as well, and so did Daredevil season 2 and Born Again. But we really get to see how affected Frank still is from the death of his family and stuff like that. Because at the beginning of the special, which is like a mini movie, right? You have Frank going to his daughter and son's grave, and it's like, baby girl, it's too hard, and he almost he almost does something he can't take back, right? And then what happens is, so Frank, since this is the same Punisher from Punisher Netflix and Daredevil season 2, right? Punisher has gone around and killed everybody besides Manucci. Besides Manucci, everybody else that had something to do with Frank's family's death is dead, right? Besides Manucci. Manucci is the head of the Nucci mob family, and she puts a bounty on Frank's head, and basically sends a bunch of killers after Frank, trying to kill Frank, and that really gets Frank back into Punisher shape, if you know what I mean. Like, so then we get, I would say this is half a character study, half Punisher, if the Punisher was in the movie The Raid. Because when the action starts, it doesn't let up. So, like, she puts a bounty on Frank's head. Then Frank has a brief conversation with Karen in his head, right? And stuff like that. Karen Page from Daredevil, right? And then he realizes, hey, these killers are gonna come after me, but they're also gonna come after the people in my apartment building, right? So the killers start to come after Frank, and they start to come after the people in his building. Then we get to see, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, the best 20 minutes of Punisher that we have ever seen adapted from a comic book series, right? Like, oh my god, guys. Like, this, if you love the Punisher and you love, you love this type of stuff, like the darker side of Marvel, the more street level side of Marvel, then you should watch this. Like, cause Frank literally takes out like 40 guys on his way up to the roof. Because he's trying to find a way out, right? Because these people that Manucci hires are trying to come after Frank, like, by any means necessary. So Frank literally jumps off the roof and is about to kill Manucci when he finds out that one of the killers that Manucci hired is going after a family with a little girl. And this really shows, like, in Punisher season 1 and season 2 in Daredevil, Punisher only cared about killing the criminals that he was going after. He didn't really care about saving people. He would save people if he had to, but he didn't really care about saving people. Here, he has to make a choice. Either kill Manucci, which I think why they leave her alive is eventually when the Punisher comes back, right? Either in Spider-Man or in Daredevil Born Again Season 3, or if they do a Punisher series or another Punisher Disney Plus special, right? He lets Manucci get away and he decides to do the right thing and save the family with the little girl. And yeah, like this is some of the best action that I have seen Marvel do, right? Now, I love street level Marvel. I love Daredevil. I love Moon Knight. I love Punisher. I love Iron Fist. I love those type of characters. I also love I love street level Spider-Man, right? I love these type of characters that Marvel does. I also love the more cosmic side of Marvel and the more like superhero heroic side of Marvel. But I also love like these stories where like ground level stories, and that's what this story is. Like it's a story about how a man basically finds his new purpose, right? That's what it is. It's a story about how a man finds his new purpose. And for me, what I love about this is Jon Bernthal's performance. John Bernthal is one of the best actors working today. As I said before, he's one of my biggest acting inspirations, and like, I really like his podcast and I really like his personality. I haven't met him personally, but I think he's a great actor, right? Right? And again, one of my biggest acting inspirations, right? And for me, like, what John Bernthal brings to this role is incredible because Punisher doesn't really talk a lot, right? Most of the performance is from his face and the way that he moves and the way that, like, he moves and the way that, like, yeah, there's like monologues in this special. Like, there's multiple monologues, but like it's mainly him talking to himself or him talking to his daughter's grave, and you really see, like, and John Bernthal, I don't know if I've already said this, John Bernthal co-wrote this special, right? He co-wrote this with another writer, and he was heavily involved in creating this masterpiece. At least I think it's a masterpiece. And I really respect people that have an idea, they go ahead and write that idea, and then they pitch it to a studio so it can get made. I really respect that, and that's one of the reasons why John Bernthal is one of my biggest acting inspirations, right? Because as a fellow creative, I really respect that. And you can tell that John really cares about this character and really cares about doing him right and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, this is one of the best things that Marvel Studios has ever done. And if any military or law enforcement or if any military or law enforcement are watching this video, thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do. You are true heroes, and thank you for what you do. But yeah, guys, this is incredible. This Punisher One Last Kill special presentation from Marvel Studios on Disney Plus. You should go watch it. You should go watch it right away. And yeah, like this is one of the best things they've ever done. It lets us see how far Marvel's willing to go with certain characters, right? Because Marvel I want Marvel to do more adult stuff. I love all of Marvel Studios, but I love how Marvel and DC Studios DC Studios is run by James Gunn. I love how they're not afraid to do like adult stuff now. They got Daredevil, they got Deadpool and Wolverine, they got this Punisher One Last Kill. They got DC's got Clayface and Lanterns coming, which is more adult leaning, right? And I watch it all, as you guys know. I'm a big nerd, and I'm also a big fan of acting, and they cast great actors in the roles of the MCU and in the DCU that I really, really look up to, and they're some of my biggest acting inspirations, right? And for me, it's like, as long as Marvel and DC and other superhero adaptations keep pumping out great entertainment, I'll continue to watch it. And this is one of the best things the MCU has ever done, in my opinion, and I recommend you all watch it. Especially if you like The Raid. If you like The Raid, the last like half of this special presentation, this mini movie, is basically Punisher inside The Raid, right? Or Punisher John Wick. Like that's what the last half of this movie is. Him becoming the Punisher once again. The Punisher being reborn and finding a new purpose. Right? That's the point of this special, him finding a new purpose. And I can't wait to see him in Spider-Man. I can't wait to see Jon Bernthal and Tom Holland's chemistry, both in the Odyssey and in Spider-Man. But like, if we're keeping it to Marvel, right, I can't wait to see how the Punisher and Spider-Man interact, right? And I can't wait to see their dynamic, because we've seen Frank and Matt's dynamic, Frank and Daredevil's dynamic, but we haven't seen Frank and Peter's dynamic yet. So for me, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see what the Punisher does after Spider-Man, right? And stuff like that. So yeah, thank y'all so much. If you've enjoyed this video, again, please do me a huge favor and subscribe, like, and share this video. I would really appreciate it, and it would really help me out. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you guys, and I hope you have a great day.